And coming up on DC News at noon, the man behind the crime. We're learning more about the person who defaced the Washington Monument this morning. And later, we're expecting to learn how much the Fed will increase interest rates. That story and more coming up. Well, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for DC News Now at noon. I'm Mark Hall. Meteorologist Damon Matson joins us with a check on the forecast. And of course, Damon, it was a beautiful start to our morning, but I kind of sense we're going to get a warm up.
Oh, yes, indeed, my friend. It's the last day of summer after all, so we got to get those temperatures up one last time, right? Yes, this afternoon we are looking at some upper 80s out there, but what big changes are on the way? As soon as tomorrow, we'll let you know in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. Developing now, cleaning up the vandalism. The National Park Service is working to clean off the Washington Monument after a man vandalized it with red paint last night. U.S. Park Police say they have a suspect in custody. He's 44-year-old Sean Ray Deaton of Bloomington, Indiana. He's being charged with trespassing, tampering, and vandalism. More charges can also be added as the investigation continues. Crews were out in the early hours this morning trying to wash away the paint. The words painted on the monument were so foul that we had to blur parts of the message, but the text essentially says that the government doesn't care about people and it could take weeks for the paint to be stripped from the monument, but officials aren't worried about the stone being stained permanently.
Marble is a very porous material and it will absorb the paint, so we expect that this is likely to be multiple treatments over a couple or 3 weeks. But we do expect that it will ultimately be removed entirely.
Yeah, something similar to this happened to the Lincoln Memorial back in 2008. That time it was green paint, which took several weeks and several treatments to remove. In national news, President Biden is forcefully condemning Russia for its ongoing occupation of Ukraine. During an appearance in front of the United Nations, the president said that Russia shamelessly violated the core tenets of the UN Charter with its brutal, needless war.
We stood with Ukraine. Like you, the United States wants this war to end on just terms, on terms we all signed up for, that you cannot seize a nation's territory by force. That the only country standing in the way of that is Russia.
Well, the address comes as Russian President Vladimir Putin today accused the West of engaging in nuclear blackmail. Well, developing now, an educational assistant has been arrested in Fairfax County after other teachers witnessed him assault a special needs student at an elementary school. Fairfax County police have arrested and charged 60-year-old Mark McDicken with assault. McDicken has been employed at the Dogwood Elementary School for 10 years. Specialists have been assisting the family to ensure that they receive proper resources and assistance. Well, developing now, D.C. council members have approved plans for an Office of Migrant Services days after the governor of Texas sent 2 buses with migrants to the vice president's home. The district will spend $10 million to create the new office, and officials say that it will provide immediate help and support to migrants. According to the Associated Press, 8,000 migrants have been bused from Texas to D.C.
It gives the mayor the opportunity to really build it out and determine what needs there are. We're setting up an office to do that, which will have specialized services for them, caseworkers who understand the immigration process, supports transportation to appointments so that they can be following their path to legal immigration here in our country.
Yeah, the Office of Migrant Services will help individuals and families with everything from food to housing to legal services. Meanwhile, Mayor Bowser released a statement after funding was approved, and she said, in part, D.C. is not a border town, but we will not stand by and let the actions of those trying to create instability for people seeking a better way of life. Now, we're also learning that Venezuelan migrants flown from Texas to Martha's Vineyard are suing Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. In the lawsuit filed yesterday, migrants were allegedly given $10 gift certificates to McDonald's and told they were going to Boston or Washington. DeSantis has not responded to the lawsuit. Well, new at noon, a second teenager has been arrested in connection to a double homicide that happened back in May. It happened at the Woodbridge Station Apartments, and police say that it all started from a gang initiation. Two 23-year-olds died. A 15-year-old was also charged in the case. Well, happening today, we're expecting to learn how much the Fed will increase interest rates. A key interest rate could go up by 3/4 of a point. Another hike would boost the benchmark rate for loans to a range of 3.25%. Now, that's the highest level in 14 years, and Fed Chair Jerome Powell says the Fed's goal is to achieve a soft landing to slow the economy enough to curb inflation but not trigger a recession. The meeting to discuss the potential hike will happen, and we will have more on this story coming up on DC News Now at 5. Enhancing school safety, Montgomery County Public Schools will be holding a public briefing on how they plan to step up their security at school-sponsored athletic events. Now, this comes after the fallout brawl on the football field at Friday night's Gaithersburg versus Northwest game. 4 teenagers were charged with assault as well as 1 adult. As a result of the fight, both football teams have been suspended from playing. Well, in our schools, fake active shooting threats put a number of Northern Virginia schools on lockdown this week. DC News Now's Max Marcilla has been tracking where those threats were made.
This is the view from inside a Culpeper County classroom after a 911 caller said they were a student and dozens of people on campus had been shot by a machine gun. And while the barricades and response from the first responders may have been traumatizing for students, none of them were hurt. It was a hoax, and just one of many this week. 2 schools in Loudoun County plus 1 each in Arlington, Spotsylvania, and Fauquier counties are just some of the dozens across the Commonwealth hit by swatting this week. Investigators are now working to figure out the people responsible. There's been no indication if it was one person or a group of people or separate incidents, but if they're caught, they're in legal trouble. This section of the Virginia State Code says if anyone gives a false report to law enforcement with the intent to mislead the agency or with the intent to interfere in their operations, they could face a Class 1 misdemeanor. That's the most severe penalty short of a felony. The possibility of a year in jail, a fine of up to $2,500, or both.
And that was Max Marcilla reporting. Now, there's also an ongoing investigation at Smarts Mills Middle School in Leesburg. Police say that there were threats made in a group chat between students. No criminal charges have been filed at this point, but Leesburg police say that there will be extra officers during the school hours this week. Well, we're getting a look at the damage after Hurricane Fiona devastated Puerto Rico. This video from the Coast Guard was taken Monday. These devastating images show homes covered in water, a flooded airport runway, and a car caught in the raging waters. Right now, most of Puerto Rico is still without power and water. The Category 3 storm blasted Turks and Caicos yesterday. And Task Force 1, Maryland's elite urban search and rescue team, is now in Puerto Rico. The team was able to fly out of Baltimore yesterday, and they will help victims devastated by the storm by rescuing people trapped in buildings.
They are multidisciplined. By that I mean they have some physicians, medical personnel, of course, canine handlers. The personnel are trained in a variety of technical rescue, water rescue, search and rescue, of course, and they're multifaceted.
Well, Task Force 1 is one of 28 teams across the country that FEMA deploys during a natural disaster. Well, Damon is back with a check on the forecast. And Damon, it looks nice outside. How long will it stay like that?
Yeah, we have some changes on the way here, Mark. No question about that after we have this nice day rolling through. We're keeping an eye on things here at home and, of course, continuing to track things with Hurricane Fiona. It strengthened last night. It became the first major hurricane of the season yesterday, and now it's up to a Category 4 status as it finally pulls away out to open waters here. And again, its track continues continues to keep it away from the East Coast, thankfully enough. But Hurricane Fiona is not the only storm out there. It certainly is the main one we're watching, but check it out. Several tropical waves and Tropical Storm Gaston is what we're tracking here as we go over the next several days.